Recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Factutainment. I'm Warmaster 101.
Hello.
Sorry, I sneezed. That's Zero Yeti. Hey, Zero. I just realized we both don't live in Britain land.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so we don't know a whole lot about different what's the word BBC shows. I mean, I only know about Doctor Who, but that's only New Who. If only there was somebody in the call that could teach us about.
We watched an entire British TV series on this channel.
This is true.
Which one?
Walking with Dinosaurs.
Walking with Dinosaurs.
Was that British?
Yes. It was a BBC program.
Anyway, to finish my bit, if only we had two people that had access to BBC that could show us a different series from the BBC that they
vastly we have access to BBC as well.
Let me do my fucking
as equivalent or better than Aka does.
Yeah, actually, we don't really have it here.
Avery, tell the internet what we did today.
But hi, I'm the resident Brit, and I suggested to the two Yanks over here to watch a beloved British sci-fi comedy that is Red Dwarf, which we just got off watching the first episode of.
Yeah. Also, Aka's here as well, not by choice. Say hi, Aka.
No.
Okay.
Beth would have joined us, but they got taken out by a twister.
Well, to be fair, if Beth was here, we would be doing something else. And I don't mean that in a mean way, I just mean that this was our backup. But yes, we watched the first episode of Red Dwarf all the way back in 1988. Because my idea to watch every single fucking Land Before Time movie was rejected again.
You didn't even pitch that. That wasn't even an option you offered.
And plus, only the first one is worth watching.
The first one's the peak. There is a couple other ones that are alright, but most of them are bad. Yeah.
Look, if we're watching The Land Before Time, it is ride or die. We are watching every single Land Before Time movie if we are doing Land Before Time. I'm kidding.
No.
And that's the peanut gallery often on the side. Ignore that. But yes, we started with the first episode, which weirdly enough is called The End. Oh, I hit the wrong thing.
And I will mostly allow our two resident Americans to kind of take it from here, because I've seen this, Arca has seen this also, so fresh thoughts should be the ones up front, I feel.
Well, to start off the series, hang on, let me find the... to start off the series, we have our, I assume, main character, Lister, working with a man that I am going to hate till the end of time, Rimmer, being in the depths of the ship known as Red Dwarf, trying to repair something. And within the first couple of minutes of the series, we learned that Rimmer, I don't know why I called him Schwimmer. Rimmer is a massive cunt. I'm gonna be honest.
Rimmer is a smeghead.
Yeah. So is this like I guess this is my first question. So Smeghead, is this like to get around something? Is this like with Fire Emblem where
it's when like it's one of those when shows like make up fictional insults.
Yeah.
Like how Battlestar Galactica has frack, for example.
Yeah.
It's just one of those. Even though it's quite British, because if, for those who didn't know, smeg just comes from smegma, so smeghead.
Yeah. My favorite snack.
Continue.
Hi guys,
No. We're still going. I guess Chris, how do you feel about our characters, Rimmer and Lister, right off the bat, in their introduction?
They're alright. I don't really have that much of a feel for them quite yet, other than one is stereotypically the dumb one, and one is stereotypically supposed to be like the rude, uppity one. But it's an interesting twist. Is the rude, uppity one is also dumb, just doesn't admit that he's dumb.
Yeah.
He's
Uh,
dumb but arrogant.
He's the worst kind of dumb, because you can be stupid, and if you admit that you're stupid, it's usually fine. But when you're
Yeah,
stupid and you maintain that you're smart,
Yeah,
that's a problem.
So far, I really like Lister as a character because he
As we
seems.
see in the United States, right?
I really like Lister as a character because he seems very genuine as like an individual. Hang on, let me. Okay, we seen what we seen. Let me just click on this picture because I think it has both. Yeah, it. No, that has the captain. That happens later. Hang on, let me just.
Fun fact: the Captain Hollister, the actor who plays him, actually plays in Aliens. He is actually the kind of one of the leaders of the space colony that gets infected by the xenomorphs.
Oh.
Fun fact.
Is that the guy who like is buff and white and like drinks from a river and like dies?
No, he's only briefly on screen in Aliens, but he's like in like the
All right.
colony Hadley's Hope before it gets overtaken.
Yeah.
Who the fuck was I here?
I don't know.
But yeah, I think the Lister works as a character, but because he's very genuine about shit. Because like, even though he is air quote the idiot, he really how do I put it? He doesn't like he's very self-aware of the case. Like he's like, yeah, I know that I'm this way, and that's fine.
Yeah, like, I know I'm lowest rank on the ship, but I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. And I think out of the two of them, I think Lister has the fatter of the two asses. So that's 1 point for Lister.
He also canonically doesn't bathe.
I do think
Yes, he doesn't bathe because he's saving every penny he earns for his farm on Fiji.
So who's the real Smeghead here?
Still Rimmer.
Anyway,
there's two more characters.
Oh yeah, so as the episode continues, we learn that Rimmer is going to retake a test. I can't remember what the name of the test was, but it was
the astro engineering exam.
Yes, the astro engineering exam, which he has failed before, and for hilarious reasons. Apparently he walked in, had a hysterical fit, and wrote that "I am a fish" 400 times, and then fainted. Which at the end of the day, I think Rimmer just has really bad test anxiety. But this is 1988, so he was probably referred to a Nancy boy at some point because of his fainting. But yeah, he is writing the answers to the test. Well, not the test, but everything from the book basically on his body. And as that's going on, they are
Lister is just like, if you can't pass fair and square, why are you even trying?
I was also going to bring up the fact that a funeral was going on as well for George. George
McIntyre.
Yeah, George McIntyre, who was the ship's
flight coordinator.
Flight coordinator. But then after the funeral is over and after his ashes are jettisoned into space, that's a little greener for space compared to what they do in Star Trek.
In Star Trek,
yeah, just fully like jettisoning like
the whole
ass body into space. But then after the funeral, they have a little get together celebration of life going on, where Captain Frank Hollister gives his little speech, but then reintroduces George as a hologram. So to me, the concept of a hologram in this setting is kind of terrifying to me, because that isn't the person. That is a collection of like
Memories.
their memories.
yeah, all of their memories. Like, sorry, I'm turning on the light because it was getting dark. That is a facsimile of the person.
Facsimile of the person that experiences that they are the person.
Yeah, and that's that's kind of a freaky thing for me. If I were to die, I would not want to be brought back as like an AI.
I do think that you do in this verse have the choice. They don't force you to come back.
You know what? That's fair. I wasn't implying that they forced you to come back like some weird cyberpunk dystopia, but just like I don't know. I don't think I would choose to come back as a hologram because
Me too.
Zombie. I come back as a zombie.
Well, I suppose it might be who's heard of the game Soma, the game that was made by the Amnesia people.
I've
heard of it.
Is that the one where you're a robot and you're like?
Yeah. You are a robot exploring a flooding undersea lab, and it goes into what's the word? Into
And you can like make copies of yourself, but
you aren't the copy. The copy is you. You both exist at the same time, and
yeah.
I feel like.
But you also don't have a hive mind situation going on either.
Yeah.
So it's like if there's more than one copy of you, you share each other's memories up until the point the copying was made.
Yeah, so my thought process is like, is George the canister of ashes that is flying through space now, or is George now the hologram?
Both is the answer.
Wow, thank you for solving my moral quandary.
Sorry.
It's all good. But yeah, they have their little celebration of life, and then we cut back to Rimmer, and
he jokes about not being able to fuck your wife anymore.
Yeah, the captain talks about a non-human life form hiding out, being on board somewhere, and everybody to be vigilant. Then we cut back to Rimmer in Lister's room, where Rimmer is about to have another full-body meltdown because nothing, like, he's written down the answers and stuff, but he's not comprehending them for the exam. And then we get to...
Then Lister wakes up, and then Rimmer proceeds to pretend that he understands everything that's written on his body.
Yeah. And then they have another exchange about something I cannot quite remember, but...
and this is where Lister's 5-year plan comes up for the first time.
Yes. Where Rimmer... okay, so... I think they have... So, how do I put this? They have like the dumb guy and like smart guy personality like thing going on, but the ambition parts of their personalities are swapped, because Lister is dumb, but he has like a full ass plan for his life, that he's gonna go to Fiji, he's gonna raise animals, and he's gonna get married on Earth in Fiji, while Rimmer claims to be smart, but he seems very like listless and like he doesn't know what he wants to do. Like he's like kind of like
I want to be promoted, but I don't know how to get there, and I'm just going to be a general nuisance everyone around me, making sure that I will never be promoted.
Yeah. like I feel like overall, out of the two of them, Fisher is despite being the way he is, I think he's generally well liked by the show, if that makes sense.
People generally like Lister, yeah.
But anyway, after Rimmer,
mostly because he's pleasant to be around compared to Rimmer.
Like, I'll talk about this in just a second because we're about to get up to it. But after Rimmer fucks off to go and do his test, it is revealed that the non-human life form that is on the ship is a cat that Fisher had snuck
Lister.
on. Oh, Lister. Sorry, I don't know why I said Fisher. Lister had snuck on. Frankenstein, the pregnant cat. Earlier, I called her Elvis. I don't know why I called her Elvis.
I don't know.
And then after that, we get a scene where Rimmer is doing the test, and he is fucking up, what's the
Like
word?
he's got, oh shit, I don't remember any of the answers. Okay, I'll pull up my sleeve. In the process, smudging all of the ink on my sleeve, on
Yeah.
my arm, so I
Amateur
can't
mistake.
read any of it.
Amateur. You have to make sure it's dry before you do any of it.
Yeah. No, amateur mistake. You should just fuck the you should fuck the test proctor. Like,
Okay.
what? It is fucking your way through the education system like not a valid thing to do.
Honestly, no, but honestly, I give more props to that than using Chat GPT to get through college.
Oh Jesus, wept.
Because at least fucking the professor takes some kind of skill.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be afraid to go to hospitals moving forward, because I've noticed a lot of individuals that are using ChatGPT are going into medical fields, and
And you're like, please, for the love of God, no.
yeah. No, my
Reminds me of, and this is stupid as the Family Guy meme, but it's like me going into the hospital for heart surgery in 10 years, but knowing everyone of the staff members got their medical license through ChatGPT. And it's Peter Griffin and the one cheap doctor going like, okay, try tube A and tube B.
And then Peter going flatlining.
Dies, and then they restarted. It's like, did that kill me? Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
But after Rimmer has his little freak out, he passes out. We cut back to Lister being called to the captain's quarters because the captain had figured out that he has a fucking hang on, here's the captain, and here is their little meeting. The captain has figured out that Lister has brought a cat onto the fucking ship from the planet not the planet, but from the moon Titan. And I don't know why the captain was acting like this, because like how do I put this? I don't think you would necessarily need to kill an animal to quarantine it. Like you're in the future. You can like I feel like you could run like normal tests or whatever. Am I making sense?
You are, but it's a sci-fi comedy, so I wouldn't think too hard about it. But yeah,
I think hard about a lot of things. But Lister is basically given the ultimatum of like, you either give up the cat or we put you in stasis for 18 months without pay, which I assume is like 18 months is how like what's the word, is his contract or whatever.
yeah, but basically until they get back to Earth.
Yeah. And Lister ends up choosing stasis instead of giving up the cat, which I think Chris brought it up as well. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because if Lister is out of the picture, they can still get the cat.
I mean, I guess they'd have to find the cat, I guess. But,
yeah. But it is explained that Lister going into stasis basically means that like some weird like time bullshit, time particles not being able to be hit by a stasis field. They could have just I feel like they could have just done like cryo freezing or whatever. But then let me scroll forward. That's him, I guess, saying goodbye or whatever. But then we get a little fast forward, and Holly or Hall. I assume that's a play off of Hal, because when did 2000: A Space Odyssey come out?
I'm not sure.
I'm actually not sure. I think it was the 70s or 80s, so it probably is a play on Hal.
Hang on, I'm looking it up on my phone right now. 2000 A Space Odyssey. Oh, 2000. Sorry, 2001 A Space Odyssey. I don't know why it was I don't.
1968.
Okay, so Holly slash Hall could be is possibly a parody of Hal. That's what I'm running with for right now.
It's likely, in fact.
Yeah. But Holly.
That showcase in a future episode where he tries to kill the entire crew.
Holly wakes up Lister.
Yes.
And as he's walking around, he's like, "Where the fuck is everybody? They're dead, Dave. Everybody? Yes, everybody, Dave. They're dead. Even this guy? Yes, they're dead. Everybody? Yes. Wait, you're saying they're dead? Yes, David, they're dead.
Everybody is dead. Everyone's dead. Everybody is dead, Dave.
Dave. Sorry. Which honestly was a little funny. I thought that was kind of funny. But it is then revealed to Lister that he has not been frozen. He has not been stasised for 18 months. He's been stasised for 3 million years, which, once again, I don't quite... like, how do I put this? Like, what was Holly...
There's a lot of issues with this, but once again, as Avery and Aka have repeatedly said, it's a comedy.
Well, yes, it's a comedy. It's not meant to be taken. I'm poking.
What is said is that he was taken out now because after the incident that killed everyone was a radiation leak, so
yeah.
Holly had to wait for the radiation levels to come down to the point where it would be safe for Lister to be out.
Yeah, and the radiation did this to everybody.
But the radiation probably didn't do this. The radiation probably killed everyone, and after over 3 million years, they just ended up as dust.
Honestly, that makes sense, I think. Also, okay, I need to bring this up because it was driving me fucking insane when I was watching it. Just him going around putting his fingers in these piles of dust. And licking them? What the fuck, Richard? Like, do British people do that? Do they see a pile of dust and lick it?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes?
Maybe he thought it was coke. Have you thought about that?
If it was coke, he would be, like, running it against his gums or something. He was fully, like, popping it into his mouth like it was, like, fucking pixie dust or something.
I don't know. He's for comedic effect, but continue. Just so we can get the line, that is Catering Officer Peterson.
Also, if it's been 3 million years and that's what it does to humans, the entire ship wouldn't have existed.
See, that's what...
Future alloys. Shush.
Oh, do future alloys get explained in another episode? Or no, that's just you saying that.
Well, you can make the argument like, oh, it's space, so nothing would decay. But if there's living creatures on the ship and also enough atmospheric thing for a human body to decay, all of the metal would also decay. But whatever, it's a comedy.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it as we're talking, there is something that could probably help explain it, but we'll get to that in just a second. Anyway, so Holly explains to Lister that everybody's dead. He had to wait to get him out, so it's been 3 million years. And Lister's like, wait, so you've been alone this whole time? And he's like, well, technically no. And then in walks motherfucking Rimmer again as a hologram. Couldn't happen to a better person, I guess. Also,
I'm guessing it's going to be a future plot point that he made it so that he's the only hologram.
Well, it was stated earlier that Holly can only produce one maintain one hologram, like, in total at a time.
It's probably just because of maybe something to do with, like, the processing power required.
Yeah. It's just, like, if I was Holly and I had to choose somebody to make a hologram out of to keep me company or whatever for millions of years, I would not pick the guy that killed everybody.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying there's probably going to be a future plot point where it's revealed that not Lister, but the one guy did something so that he's the hologram.
Yeah.
Uh,
But Rimmer shows up. He's a hologram. He immediately starts blaming Lister for everything bad going on because apparently he cannot take what's the word he cannot take responsibility for himself and be like, you know what, I fucked up big time. That's my bad. No, he has to keep being a B word. And so
why is that the one you choose to censor?
what bitch?
Yeah.
I was not cursing to be comedic. So then they start walking around, and then our next character in this locked room murder mystery is revealed. Cat
Cat. His name is just Cat.
is just Cat. Yes. Which I guess it makes I feel like the words that are about to come out of my mouth are going to be bad no matter how I word it.
Go on.
I guess it would make sense if he was a black man because his progenitor on the evolutionary scale was a black cat.
That's probably what they're going for.
Yeah.
But just a fun thing about, because this did get a couple of things about, like, oh, is this a bit racist? Even at the time. But the thing is that Craig Charles, who's the guy who plays Lister, it was and still is a big anti-racism activist. And obviously the actor, Danny Ray Jules, who plays Cat, the writers did actually sit them both down and was like, is this character okay? This isn't a bit too, And both of them just kind of went that they loved the character, so...
Okay.
Not sure how much better that makes it, if that's how you view Cat, but something to consider,
Well, like I don't think there's necessarily anything racist about Cat. It's just his whole not like personality, but just like something
personality.
Fuck off. Just how he was like acting and stuff felt kind of weird. But like as it was stated, he probably doesn't have a lot of socialization with people.
He is also a cat
Yeah.
rather than anything else. Playing on stereotypes of cats being vain and all of that.
Yeah. Also, so this it enters into my next point that I was going to bring up regarding the ship. Maybe the reason why the ship isn't more fucked up is because like we don't know how many cats are living in the steam vents.
Yeah.
Maybe they've been
And also, one thing to consider is that there are still the service robots kind of running around, which were probably doing at least some level of maintenance.
Yeah.
And they did have the better union. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, they did have the better union.
Well,
There's also another thing of there's several plot holes, but again, it's a comedy. But it's like, so in 3 million years, the ship's auto robot controlling everything wasn't like we should dock somewhere and have call people to come fix things.
Well, to be fair,
yeah, I think it was also because I think the reason they didn't go to Earth is because the ship was very dangerously radioactive.
Yeah. Well,
I'm assuming that if you have a spaceship that is complex enough that you also have bases on Titan and other things that you can call somebody.
Well, that's also what I was kind of thinking, because the Red Dwarf is it a mining ship?
It is a mining ship, yes.
Did anybody go off to try and find the Red Dwarf at any point in the 3 million years? Because
maybe it could just be a case of space big.
Well, it's a mining ship.
So,
it's an.
Well, you're saying in 3 million years, no one noticed that there's a ship that's just kind of floating?
Yeah,
yeah, well, as I said.
Like not even the company.
That's more me going, oh no, maybe comedy.
Not even the company that owned the Red Dwarf was like, hey, what happened to one of our mining ships?
Because I guess the only real comparison is there's a phenomenon. Granted, they never go like for millions of years, but maybe like a year of ghost ships in the ocean where all of the crew is gone, but the ship is still floating. And whenever someone detects that, it's like, yeah, we need to go like get this and like tow it to a dock or something. That's usually what happens.
Hang on, give me 1 second.
Oh. And we all died.
But any other thoughts overall, Steg, while we're waiting for Aura to get back?
Well, I think Aura's also recording.
No, I'm back. Sorry,
Okay.
My mom called and asked if my father was moving for work. Piggybacking on what Chris was saying about ghost ships. So I don't know when Alien came out, but so
Alien was 1979.
Okay, so I know Chris was talking about like ghost ships and how like people like go to check it out. What if it's the inverse for in space? Like what if like a ship like a ship in space is detected, like a ghost spaceship, and everybody chooses to stay the fuck away from it because you don't know what's going to be on the ghost spaceship. You know what I mean?
Mm. Excuse me.
Anyway,
yeah, maybe. Especially, imagine if you check the black box of the ship, like via, I don't know, communication, and the last thing in the captain's logs was a non-human life form was detected, and then nothing.
Yeah, that would be scary. That's those are some things that like I said, cats, the rest of Cat's race helping maintain, the robot union helping maintain the ship.
And also Lister accidentally became god to the cat people.
Yeah. So Lister, they finally connect with the cat, and the cat explains to them that the Cat Society has reinvented Jesus Christ, or Catholicism in general, and as Avery said, Lister is basically God to the cat people because of Lister saving Frankenstein all those years ago. But then after talking for a while, oh yeah, Lister the Stupid, that's what he's called. But basically, Lister's like, hey, like, fuck the ship, let's start traveling back to Earth. And then Rimmer, being a cunt, is like, well, Earth might be fucked at this point, so what the fuck is the point? And Lister is still like, well, fuck you, I have a plan that involves Fiji and some horses and some sheep. Suck my ass, I'm the only alive person on the ship, so I'm going home. And that's where the episode ends. Or it begins. Dun dun dun.
Yep, the next episode being titled The Beginning.
Hey. Okay, so Avery, any insight on the episode that we don't know about? Any funny trivial things? Really.
Other than a lot of the model work being very good, considering that this was done on a tiny budget in a very small and derelict studio for the BBC in Liverpool, which was like one of the, at the time, the ancillary kind of studios, which was mostly used to the fucking local news in that area.
Oh yeah, I could definitely feel the shoestring budget, because like I feel like, what's the word? The bridge and where they held the funeral and Lister and Rimmer's room were all basically the same location but shot at different times, right? Like, was that what I was?
No.
They were different sets.
The bedroom is a different set. They did actually have the funeral on the bridge, I'm pretty sure.
That makes sense.
So the shoestring budget kind of explains why the descendant of cats 3 million years in the future is just a guy with vampire fangs.
Yeah, but to me, there's something charming about the shoestring budget.
Well, they didn't even give the cat like cat ears. Like we could have had we could have had cat boys back in the 80s, early 90s, early whatevers. Don't you think we missed out on cat not having cat ears?
Maybe.
We hang on. Who's cat's actor?
Danny John Jules.
Is he still alive?
Yep.
Awesome. Whoa, what the fuck? Does he go to a lot of like cons and stuff? Do you think if I go to one,
the whole cast very frequently goes to like sci-fi cons in the UK.
I want to track him down and be like, could you say like nya and like nya, please?
Fun fact: this was both Craig Charles, who plays Lister, and Danny John Jules is as Cat, their first acting roles.
Oh, that's fun.
You go up to him and you're like, can you say no? He just like punches you in the throat. Like square punches in the throat.
Craig Charles was like a radio DJ and like a poet and a musician before he got this role as his first acting gig. And Danny John Jules, he is still alive also, yes. Awesome. Danny John Jules, before he got this part, was a dancer in theatre.
Sorry, I'm checking what guy.
Yeah, that's where his family's from. Is Guyana. Yeah.
Okay. So he. I don't know. I was gonna say. Anyway. So Chris, do you want to give your thoughts first?
It's a show. I'll see how it goes.
Admittedly, when the second episode is where things do start to very much pick up a bit.
Oh shit! Do they kill a guy? Wait.
Not quite, but yeah.
No, they don't kill a guy. Not like
maybe in later seasons, but not quite yet.
Alright, I'm gonna be real honest. If I would, I don't know. I think it would just, if I was Lister, I think it would just be over for me. I think I would just jettison myself out into space. Is that dark?
Yes.
Yeah, but yes, it is. But I guess his thing is like, I might be the last human, so I got to at least like try.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, and it's gonna be a little fucked up, maybe. But like, if I was ever in like a horror scenario, I'm out. Like I'm Audi 5000 at my earliest convenience.
Yeah, but that was Stick or Zero Yeti's fault. How about you, Aura?
I thought it was pretty good. When it comes,
Aura's thoughts were he was gonna kill himself.
Damn. So I'm gonna be honest. I do have a little I had a little bit of exposure to Red Dwarf through a YouTuber. Let me look them up. So they the YouTuber's name is Diamanda Hagen, and she does a series called Smakehead's Guide to Red Dwarf. And I watched the first couple of episodes, like talking about like the the first episode, I think like the second and third episode, but then but it's been a while since I've seen those those, so I don't know what necessarily I don't remember a whole lot. But I thought the first episode was pretty good. It did a great job of setting shit up for what's going on. We have our main three, Lister, Rimmer, and the cat. I think Rimmer is gonna, I hope some shit happens in future echoes. Maybe they find somebody, because I guess spoilers for the different episodes. Is the first season really only 6 episodes?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Shoestring budget.
Damn. But
I think if this is the original 8 seasons, I believe there are only 74 episodes total for the first 8 seasons.
alright. Would you be mad if we forced you to watch the future, anything after 8?
I wouldn't be mad.
Okay. This kind of sets the precedent.
Thing is, I adore this show, and I believe that Arca is the same, I believe.
No, she hates the show, right, Anka?
She is currently muted, so But I do think that this does set things up very well.
Yeah.
Anka hates every aspect.
So I'm trying to think. I don't necessarily want to give it an S because it's a pilot episode. No, not pilot. Well, was it a pilot?
There is a pilot that's out there, but it's kind of hard to find, and you only find pieces of it. Fun fact: there was an attempt at an American version of Red Dwarf back in the early seasons, and yes, it didn't go anywhere because the American studio kept trying to Americanize it, which the writers despised.
I wanna put...
See, I think our version of doing an American version of Dwarf would simply just to be like, every time there's a piece of British slang, you just badly dub over it with American slang.
Oh wait, actually, there is an American version of Red Dwarf, Futurama. Think about it. Think about it.
I'll give you that one. But this is not the heights of the show either, so I would be comfortable with like a B.
Yeah, I'm thinking B as well. We don't really
get... the first half of the first season, you can very much tell is the writers and the actors finding their footing, if that makes sense.
I think a B is good. The first part of the episode was kind of slow and kind of but I think that's just kind of like, setting the thing up. But then we have what's the word?
Just imagine like you do an American Red Dwarf and it's just the fucking like first season of Pokemon bad Americanization, which is just like Jelly Donut over an obviously Onigiri.
Sorry, I just noticed. So I sorry, I was looking at my phone and I noticed that a comment that I left on a D&D live play is gaining some traction for all the wrong reasons. I'll talk about it after we get done with the recording. But I think B's pretty good. It's a slow start, but once we get to the part where everybody's fucking dead, I think that's really when the comedy picks up, which really hammers home the fact that all comedy
derives from tragedy. This was the first episode of Red Dwarf. I don't know what we're gonna call this series. I'll probably figure something out else, a name for it later, or Avery might tell me.
Red Dead Reviews.
Red. I think people are gonna get confused on that. But yeah. Tune in next time where we talk about the next episode, Future Echoes. They look really confused standing there. And yeah, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, bro.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night, everybody. This is Aka saying goodbye. I'm kidding. Nothing. Oh God, I hope she isn't. I hope she wasn't. I hope this was the specific point she decided to come back to her computer, because that'd be fucked up. But yes, good night, everybody.